Guangzhou Taizhou Airport. Not the smallest airport I've ever been to, but a pretty small airport. Maybe it's hard for some of you to believe there is actually an airport in Yangzhou, this kind of small city by Chinese standards, but yes, there is. Luckily for me, just a 40-minute taxi ride. That means I can very conveniently go to Xi'an this holiday. That was pretty simple. Self-check-in. I don't have any checked baggage. Traveling light today, so that's that. And yep, what you see there, that's the airport.
Xi'an is one of those proper ancient cities that goes back to when the nation was first unified. It was the capital of 13 dynasties, including the Tang dynasty, considered one of the most prosperous periods in Chinese history. The city is mainly famous for its terracotta army, thousands of life-size sculptures depicting the army of Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China. Lately, I've been reading Chinese history. Xi'an and its neighbouring Chang'an are recurring characters in crucial events in the story of China. The opportunity by going there to give it some real-life, meaningful context was too good to pass up.
So, first day in Xi'an for me. That means I have to take Rupa Sheldrake's lead. The first thing you do when you enter a new city, take a pilgrimage to the city's spiritual centre. That's why I'm going to Guangren Temple. According to the map, it might take me about 90 minutes, but there will be some stops along the way. So I'm walking from the west side of Yantu district, which is where my hotel is.
You might like to join me to play a couple of games with me today. The first game is a drinking game. Whenever you see something that always seems to happen in my vlogs, you can drink. Hello. Second thing is, I have a couple of questions that I don't know the answer to. You might be able to help me in the comments. And don't worry, you won't miss them because I'll prompt you.
Not much to say about this area yet, it seems pretty normal. I think we're still in sort of like the outskirts, but we are moving on to the ancient wall which encircles the classical part of the city, so to speak. Our first ancient building. Don't know what it is. Well, these inner streets are pretty green on the plus side. On the bad side, it's setting off my hay fever a little bit, so excuse the sniffing.
The pilgrimage is basically what I do now when I go to a new city. It provides a sense of purpose, and it takes you to places you'd never even have considered going if it was just down to your own volition, taking this direct route to the spiritual centre. As Vincent Vega says, it's the little differences. Took a while to get going, but as I get further and further into the center of the city, it becomes a lot more old and lived in, and the frequency of interesting things to look at increases, and it's extremely stimulating. This is, the smell is absolutely incredible. Over there is the city wall. For reference, the main city centre is basically a great big rectangle, and we're on the western side of that. And I assume you can get in through there. I'm going to go over there and see. It's a big old fortification. Height. An extremely quiet area, really quite residential. Kindergartens, small stores, apartments. I was grateful for the feeling that I was getting close to my destination, because it seemed like by this point I had done my quota for steps for the whole month. It's a restaurant, isn't it? Tibetan restaurant. It was nice to have that contrast of energy to the quiet and peace of the temple compared to the bustle and stress of the streets that got me to this place. Very interesting. The colours and particularly the smells were absolutely overwhelming in there. It was so rich. They had a god for everything under the sun, apparently. I have to say, the temptation to get a taxi the rest of the way, since it was taking longer than I thought, was great. But is it really a pilgrimage if at some point along the journey you don't think about giving up? I know that it's always worth it in the end to stick it through.